is rather difficult to set up. So bear with me. I'm trying. Where the hell am I gonna sit? No. Okay. Okay. So there's a plane. Okay. So my name is Ye Old Hipster, or you can call me Tony. Call me Stamati, because those are both my names. But Ye Old Hipster, obviously, my username. Okay, so I started going on YouTube, and I made my account and whatever because of the JET program, the Japan English and Teaching program. And I applied to it, and I was thinking about it for about a year, and I wanted to learn as much as I could about Japan, like what it might be to live there, what the culture's like, and so forth. So I subscribed to a bunch of Japan vloggers, so like Victor at Give Me a Break Man, Give Me a Flake Man, Jason at My Argonauts, I'm blanking, Unrested, who's amazing, all those guys are amazing. Jeez, I can't think, there are too many to really count. Ozzy78, who is hilarious, Japanarchist, also hilarious. These guys are amazing. Unfortunately, even though I was like really into it and really working hard on I really worked hard on my application and my statement of purpose and things like that, I did not get an interview. Like, that came out last week, or this week, the list, and I wasn't on there. So, kind of disappointing. But, I have to say that I don't regret all the time I spent getting excited about Japan. I don't regret it at all. It was a really good experience to learn about another culture, and see how other people live, and to learn how to understand things about expectations. Like, at first I started off thinking about Japan like, oh, I want to be Japanese, I want to live in Japan, I want to learn the language and the culture, and I just want to meld right in, and I want to become part of the culture. I want them to, like, accept me as a Japanese person. Sorry about this. And that was really, really weird. It messed with my head a lot, I think, to put so much, like, pressure on myself, how could you ever escape your how you were raised? Like, you can't escape that. And I think it was Hiroko Channel, and she said something like, why do you want to be Japanese? And I was like, that's a good point, why not just be who you are, right? And people would like you for that. So that's an important lesson that I think I could take away from my experience applying for JET, even though I didn't get it, is that you just got to be who you are, and people will appreciate that, and you can use that lesson anywhere. Thank me later. So there was that. So eventually I just kind of like, alright, well, I can be accepted somewhere just as like a gaijin, or as Tony or Stamati or Ye Old Hipster, and that's good, that's real good. So I learned about expectations. I learned to be realistic, to not be so romantic that you kind of miss what's going on. I learned that kind of too last summer. I traveled cross country and I worked at a kitchen in Arizona, and I thought I was going to meet like all these really enlightened people, and they would blow my mind because they live out in the middle of the desert and at a fishing lodge or something, and it didn't happen. They were just kind of normal people with their own faults and problems and things, and having wrong expectations for that, I think, kind of ruined my whole experience there. I wasn't really able to appreciate people for who they were. I wasn't able to appreciate my situation which was being like really lonely for the most part. I think that could have been really great, and it was in ways. And it wasn't an awful experience, but I didn't think that would happen. Like I didn't think that I would be so alone. But now I kind of feel like, well, if I were ready for that, then I could really dig it. I could dig being by myself for quite a while, and that's kind of where I am now, in the sense of, I have a full-time job. I'm an assistant teacher at a middle school, and I really love it. But it's my whole day. It's my whole week, except for the weekends. But I live in a city where going anywhere is just a pain. I mean, I have to drive for like half an hour to get to anything. And then some of my friends don't really like to go out and do the same things I do, and so there's a bar down the street, but no one wants to go to the bar, and it's frustrating, but it is what it is, right? My friends and I do other things, but we only see each other like once a week. So for the most part, I'm at home, and I'm doing things like, a lot of it was watching the J-vloggers on YouTube. A lot of it is practicing photography. I just got a canoe recently, so I'm canoeing a lot. Kind of taking in the nature around here, which is really important to me, and I've learned a lot that I haven't known about the area that I live in. I live in northern Florida, like northeast Florida. So yeah, I mean, I've gained a bit of more of appreciation for where I live from doing that, for being alone, So it can definitely be good. So anyway, this is where I'm segueing now from the whole jet tragedy, I suppose, to now, okay, what next? And I know a lot of people who are in my position are asking themselves that same question. I know I wasn't the one who wanted jet the most. I did want it, but there are people who are way more into Japan than I am, or I will ever be. There are people who didn't get it, and now they're going to go to Japan on their own, and they're going to find a job just by being there, I'm not going to do that, though. I mean, I feel like that would be irresponsible of me. I don't, just because of who I am, Jet was like an easy way to get there and to really be immersed in the culture and all this. So I figured, well, if I don't get Jet, I'm just not going to do it. I just don't have that much willpower for that, So I definitely didn't want it the most out of the people who probably got rejected. So they're probably asking themselves, what am I going to do now? Where am I supposed to go? And for me, I've had that answer already, and now I've just got to pursue it, and that's going to get done really, really soon. Needs to be. So okay, we got Jet right over here, there, and then we've got me now, which is being kind of isolated-ish, and it's a good thing, and I like it, and I'm exploring myself, and I'm exploring my ideas, my creativity, I'm exploring nature, okay, and I've learned a lot about expectations and being realistic and all that jazz. So, the next thing is, I'm going to apply to the SCA, or the Student Conservation Association, and the AmeriCorps Conservation Corps,